Next question is from Daniel. Can you guys elaborate on your thoughts on competition? You both seem very passionate about leveraging people's natural competitive nature. Respectfully and out of sheer curiosity, why?
I'll tell you why. What does competition mean? In Latin, it means to conspire together. So how do you conspire by competing? Well, if you and I are going to play a sport, and I'm a pretty big guy, if we're going to play basketball, I'm going to push you as hard as I possibly can. By doing that, you're going to get better. I want you to push me as hard as you can. I'm going to get better. By competing, we conspire to make each other better. And I think so many people think of competition as just pure win-lose, and they don't understand the larger game that happens that comes from it when it's done intelligently. Now, some people are abusive in anything, business, sports, economics. I understand that. But boy, we've seen so much transformation in the quality of life of human beings because of that competition. And if you look at systems around the world, communism being one of those, you hear a lot of kids today talking about socialism's the answer. They've never been in one. I'm old enough to have been there. I went to the USSR when it was still the Soviet Union. It made me a capitalist. I remember people standing in line for bread around the block. And then I got on a train where everything's supposed to be equal, and I was with a group of scientists I was invited there to go on. And we had caviar in first class. I mean, your idea of socialism is because you've never been there. It's just not true. And it's our fault, though, because we haven't taught our youth to really be capitalists. They haven't taught them the idea that your life is not just about you getting something. It's about what are you here to give? And if you want to succeed, I remember I asked my original teacher, Jim Rome, we had no money for food at Thanksgiving. It's why I feed people. It's not because I'm so good. It's because I know what it feels like to hurt that way. And I was like, my forefather, it's Thanksgiving, we have no food. Somebody came and delivered some food to us as a gift, which changed my life. But I just remember asking Jim Rohn, I said, how is it all four of my fathers, they get fired, they can't be there? And he said, well, what does your natural father do? And I said, well, my first father, he worked underground, taking people's, parking tickets. And he goes, how long do you do that for? And I said, well, I think it's been 29 years or 31 years he's done that. He goes, Tony, that's gonna be replaced by a machine. This is way back then. I said, I know, and I said, I can't understand how he lives that way, but it's what he does. And he goes, well, that's why he isn't adding enough value. He said, listen, I know, Tony, you believe every soul is equal, and I do. I mean, at a soul level, nobody's superior to anybody else. We might have different development, but not at a soul level. We're all equal. But in the marketplace, we're not. In the marketplace, it's about how do you add more value. And Jim Rohn, you say, listen, if you work at McDonald's, I don't remember what hourly wage was back then, but it's not enough to survive then or is now. But anybody can learn that in an hour. It's not being disrespectful. But if you decide to work harder on yourself than anything else, if you can find a way to do more for others than anybody else does in your category, then you won't just make money. You just won't have a great job or a great business. You'll have a meaningful life. And it's one of the most important pieces of advice that was ever given.
On competition, let me put it simply, we do our best work when we compete. It's the Olympics, it's in business, it's finding your spouse, whatever it is. And so when we run X Prizes, we're challenging people to think differently. When it's simple and easy, you don't take risks, right? The day before something is truly a breakthrough, it's a crazy idea. If it wasn't a crazy idea the day before, it wouldn't be a breakthrough, it'd be an expected improvement. And so what forces you to take crazy ideas? Because you can take the easy way out if you don't have the pressure, but in a competition, if you know that unless you try something crazy or difficult, you're not going to
push yourself through what you don't think you can do.
And so what we see in X Prizes are teams trying crazy ideas. And by the way, one of the most beautiful lessons I had in the Ansari X Prize was one of the teams saying, listen, the number one thing is if we win, the number two thing is that someone wins, right? So everyone's in there to make that improvement, whether it's opening up space or mapping the ocean floors. And so competitions allow us, give us the excuse to do our best and push ourselves to our limits.
I couldn't disagree with that. I'm in your corner 100%.